Ask Reddit by user Main Force Patrol. Title: Serious people who worked at hotels during Furry Anime Sci-Fi Comic other conventions. What crazy shit did you see go down? Comment by Darina. I work security for a convention. One night, me and a friend had just gotten off shift. It was about 3 to 4 a.m. This convention was a 24-hour convention, so all of the halls were still open and a lot of people were still out and about. We came across a girl passed out in one of the gaming halls while sitting in front of a console. We went over to wake her and she kept falling in out of consciousness. Probably drunk, but the thing that bothered us was a random guy suddenly appeared and said he was with her. She was alone when we noticed her, and this guy had just found her and had been looking all over. We were suspicious. He kept trying to take her back to their room and we absolutely refused to let him escort her. She was not coherent at all. Since I was off shift, I grabbed one of the other security people and insisted they check to see where she was staying and if she was staying at the hotel that they walked her back to her room. Under no circumstances was the guy to be alone with her. We went to bed so I didn't see a resolution, but I made sure they verified her room number and walked her back to her room. Comment by Bodhisattva. My story is like 55% relevant to the question. I worked at a resort in the summer. I worked catering, front desk, room service, whatever they needed. I was also the courtesy shuttle driver. One week we had a convention, if you can call it that, of mothers whose babies had died. It was a big support therapy seminar. Absolutely brutal stuff as you can imagine. So as the shuttle driver, I would either chat with my passengers, if they were chatty. Or if the guests were talking among themselves, I would have low music playing from whatever radio station. That way it wasn't quiet and awkward if they did stop talking, or if it was a quiet, non-chatty group. So one night I need to drive 5 of these women to a restaurant across town. I think 2 of the women were leaders instructors and the other 3 were dead baby moms, one in particular was super emotional. And the 5 of them were in deep, way too personal conversation when they got in my shuttle. I made the executive decision to not say a word, and just put on a little bit of low music. I did not want to hear this convo, nor did I want any kind of silence where all you could hear was sniffling. So my default radio station is classic rock. So I turn the volume up to like 5. It's very low, background music. And I proceed to the destination. These ladies are in the shuttle, talking about dead kids and near crying, and something strikes my ear. The song on the radio is a song I love 99% of the time. I literally punched the center console to turn off the radio hard enough to where the women stopped talking and looked at me crazy. Is everything okay? Yeah, sorry, smiley face. Song was Alice Cooper, Dead Babies. I swear, it was horrifying in the moment. I can't imagine what would happen if they noticed it. External link, external link. Reply by Just Passings. As a woman who had had 5 miscarriages and has no children, you would think it'd skip this story. Glad I didn't. That's hilarious, you poor thing. I bet you went bright red. Brilliant though. Comment by Quats5. Wasn't working the con, but the year that Anime Matsuri in Houston decided to move to a hotel right next to Reliant Park, where the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo is held. During the rodeo, I saw so many confused rural cowboys trying to figure out what all these strange people with weird color hair and strange clothes were doing in their hotel. I have no idea why the hotel thought it would be a good idea to schedule a 8,000-person convention during the 2 million person, over 3 weeks, rodeo. It was fun to watch the culture clash though. Comment by Jimmy Page's Guitar. I used to work at a yearly convention in San Jose, California. Some of the more earthy people who attended would use the hot tub a lot. It was no secret that 1. Strange bodily fluids would wind up in there, and 2. The water gradually changed brown due to people not showering before they went in. As a result, by Saturday afternoon the hotel's hot tub was always shut down for cleaning and changing the water. Every single year. Comment by SS Lishka 1. I worked a Halloween beard growing competition heavy metal concert costume contest. Pretty sweet combo, right? Anyway, the whole event was 2 days of weed and beer fueled partying. It attracted such a strange combination of attendants. The event rented out every room in the hotel as well as gave us a cut of raffle proceeds and such. Because of this, they got a lot of leeway on not just hotel policy but frankly laws. I saw 3 things an hour that should have had the police there. One dude was getting a tattoo of a vagina on his chest in a hallway. Enough said. Another was so drunk and high he lost his wallet and room key, forgot what room he was in, and couldn't remember what name his room was rented under. So we gave him a pillow and blanket and he passed out on a couch in the lobby. Apparently, in the middle of the night, he decided he was gonna find his room or something because we found him sleeping on another couch on the third floor. Since he didn't bring the blanket or pillow, he went in a bathroom and took all the toilet paper and covered himself in that to keep warm. Since the hotel was extremely old, the woman's restroom in the lobby had an old school powder room with furniture. At one point, I saw a couple completely naked having sex on one of the chairs. The whole event was so surreal, I'm still not entirely sure it wasn't just an extremely elaborate hallucination. Comment by More Sad Mods: I was working for the convention, does that count? I saw Batman. This cosplayer was so good, you'd swear Nolan was directing him. He even vanished from the stage before he could be given an award for his costume. I've seen Klingons walking through the area around the convention, going to restaurants, etc., as if it's perfectly normal. And there are so many of them that it becomes normal and people stop noticing. Side note: Klingons were the biggest, hardest drinkers at the con. Like it was some form of warrior right. Luckily, they were also generally the most massive of the cosplayers, so they had more blood volume to dilute the alcohol, and so far as I know, nobody ever needed to go to the hospital for alcohol poisoning. I watched a motorcycle cop pull up and march into the con like he was on police business and looking for someone. He pushed his way to the head of the line at a dealer's table so he could buy some Star Trek decals for his ride. I've seen convention guests so drunk off their asses they could barely walk, and definitely couldn't manage a straight line. I have seen more flesh on obese young men and women in one weekend than I ever needed to in my entire lifetime. You know what? For all the weirdness, every last one of them that I interacted with was a friendly, decent person. 10/10 would go again if I didn't have other things keeping me too busy to get involved. Comment by Neosporin: my hotel had an annual fairy fest. Families would come dressed as fairies and it was nice and friendly. But then, after 8 p.m., it was adults only and it got weird. You ever seen two drunk male satyr and fawn make out? Because I have. Is it gay if they are different species? There was lots of interspecies action going on in our ballroom. Also glitter. Glitter everywhere from the fairies and other woodland creatures. Comment by Theblu Ninja Zero: I arrived to check in for a furry convention. Turns out there was also a block of rooms that weekend for 3 all-girls Christian high school soccer teams. The girls thought all the fursuits and such were awesome. The teachers' chaperones were, judging by their volume and vulgarity towards the staff, all 110% Karens. The hotel staff I spoke to seemed to prefer the furries, then again I didn't talk to the maids. Ask Reddit by